The JSE All Share Index has extended gains for the third straight session today, trading above the 67,600 level. This is the highest since mid-September. Meanwhile, investors cautiously await the US Federal Reserve's latest policy decision, which later today will come up with a 75 basis point interest rate hike widely expected. Gary Booysen is portfolio manager at Rand Swiss with us now to talk about the latest moves. Gary, welcome back to Daytime Update. Let's begin, as always, with an overview of how the markets have done in morning and midday trade.
Thanks for having me on. The top 40 is up about almost a third of 1%. The financial index is essentially flat. The industrials are giving up a little bit of ground, but remember, we've had an incredibly solid run with Naspers and Prosus up aggressively over the last 2 days. So the likes of the industrials giving up a little bit today probably makes sense just on profit taking. The resource index is up around 1.5%. But all of this, as you said, is just treading water ahead of Jerome Powell speaking this afternoon, or at least this evening, after the FOMC meeting.
Anglo American Platinum publishing a maiden climate change report, in fact, for the company. What does it say?
Well, yes, maiden climate change report, but it's something that I suppose has been very close to the company's heart for a while. The idea that they have to, see a more sustainable future. They've had plans to decarbonize by 2040 for a long time, and this report just really outlining the initiatives that they're going to be using over the next couple of years to achieve this goal. So the likes of switching a lot of their big diesel trucks into hydrogen trucks, which are obviously fairly efficient when you're transporting large loads. It works a lot better than an electric-powered battery that you can use in a car, for example. Of course, from 2024 at Mogalakwena, which is the big open-cast pit, they're looking at adding or starting to add 100 megawatts of solar power. So really just trying to decarbonize and make the extractive process of mining, which is not typically very green, a lot more environmentally friendly, and hopefully with higher ESG scores, get better terms on funding and better access to the capital markets as well. So definitely an interesting update, but I don't think it's going to move the market too much because these plans were fairly well communicated by the company so far. Mm-hmm.
There's been some good news for Uber. Shares going up after it reported a surge in the quarterly revenue that it's managed to come up with, or raise, I should say. Described consumer demand as remaining robust, according to Uber. Tell us about those numbers.
Well, yeah, a great set of numbers from Uber, and the stock price was up around 11%, and we're seeing a raft of upgrades from the big banks as well. So the stock's trading just under $30 a share, and JP Morgan has just raised its target price from $48 to $50 on the back of these results, and there's a host of other upgrades as well. So certainly Wall Street is liking the set of numbers. They did obviously make a loss on the bottom line, but as you said, that revenue line, so the top line, looking pretty robust, coming in ahead of our analyst expectations. Very, very decent jump there. Revenue 8.34 billion versus estimates of around 8.12 billion. So very, very nice. And I think underneath what the company is seeing is really a shift from their delivery business back into their mobility business. So under COVID, they were very, very reliant on Uber Eats on the delivery side of the business. People ordering in. But as people start to travel again, as lockdowns around the world have eased, they've seen a big pickup in people actually driving around, and also a change to consumer spending habits. People that have maybe are working from home, say 3 or 4 days a week, and only need to get to the office, say for 1 day, instead of maintaining a car, deciding, hey, this is going to be a lot cheaper if I can just use Uber for my regular commute. So they're definitely also seeing a shift in consumer spending patterns. But overall, decent set of results, and the stock price reflecting that.
Let's talk about Pick n Pay to conclude. They now plan Pick n Pay to allow customers to pay for groceries using crypto, but only at 39 stores. How viable is that in the South African context and considering the current economic situation?
Well, I think it's certainly interesting. So the 39 stores is the initial pilot that they're doing. They did actually test it at one of their corporate headquarters just to see how it was, and there were issues just around how long it took a transaction to process, and of course the cost of the transaction as well compared to a regular bank account. But with their partners Crypto Connect and Electrum, They reckon they've got it down to under 30 seconds for the transaction, and the cost is now equivalent or at least comparable to a normal banking transaction. So, as you said, they're rolling it out to 39 stores, but the plan is to make that countrywide after this further test. And this really comes on the back of, I suppose, improvements of the technology, but also with the Financial Service Conduct Authority, so the FSCA, deciding that crypto was a financial product. Now, how viable is it going forward? It's difficult because obviously crypto markets are incredibly volatile, and what we're seeing here is the ability for people to pay for goods and services. And I suppose you've just got to worry. One day your grocery basket could be one price in rand terms anyway, and if the crypto market really starts to run, it could be a very, very different price. So I think it's the volatility might still be an issue in the underlying asset class, but certainly excited to see retailers pioneering this kind of technology.
Gary Booysen, good to speak to you. Thank you.